Question 10 is when it started to get into radians. So nothing to fear, just your calculator needs to be in a different mode. In fact, sometimes it's just a lot easier and more exact when we're using radians. Okay, so here's your first clue how to do this question. It says to 2 decimal places. And that means to solve it, we normally have to factorize. So 2 decimal places, we're never going to be able to factorize. That means use your quadratic formula. Now, instead of x equals, we're going to be finding sine x. If you think of the formula, it's negative b, and b is that coefficient in front of the x, which in this case is 1. So, in fact, what I'll do, I'll write these out. So you've got a is 3, your b, well that's just there, so that's just 1, and our c is minus 2. Okay, so let's put these in. So we're going to have to negative b, so negate b. Negated of 1 is minus 1. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, well that's going to be 1, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is minus 2, all over 2a, which is 6. Okay, let's tidy up. Minus 1 plus or minus the square root of, that's 25. So at this point you might think, well, I can do that. So why is this 2 decimal places? Surely this one works, but you'll see it doesn't. So we've got minus 1 plus 5 over 6. And we've also got minus 1 take away 5 all over 6. So that's 2/3. There you go. That's why you wouldn't have seen it. That's why you need the formula. And this is minus 1. Okay. So we have 2 values for sine of x, which we're going to have to solve. So let's start with this one, minus 1. Now, when it's 1s or 0s, I always just go back to my sine graph. It's from 0 to 2 pi, so that's just 1 cycle. So it's going to look like that being 2 pi, therefore that being pi, and minus 1, that's this value here. What's in between 1 and 2? 1.5. So that's 1.5 pi. Okay, so x is 1.5 pi. We'll leave it like that for the minute. It does say to 2 decimal places, but we'll come back onto that. Let's change colour. So let's now do sine of x is 2/3. Okay, so here we can see the sine of x is positive. So let's draw our cast diagram. Let's work out where sine is positive. Okay, so we know it's positive in this quadrant, everything is, and we know it's positive in this quadrant, and those 2 angles being exactly the same. This is c, and it's also 2 pi, because we're now in radians. Okay, so we're going to get a value there, and we're going to get another one there, within this 2 pi radians. Okay, so now it's time to use our calculator. We need to work out what x is. So x is going to be the inverse sine of 2/3, which, bear with me, is 0.73. So I don't have a calculator, I had to look that up. So 0.73. Okay, and that's that one there in blue. So this is going to be pi here. So we know that's pi, because that's 2 pi. So pi take away 0.73, you're going to get 2.41. And you don't have to put the c, because this whole question's in radians. So there are 2 figures. So let's finish off. I'll write our answer in red. So we've got 3 things. So you're going to have to put that one into decimals now. So just retype that one. But you've got 0.73, 2.41, and that last one in decimals to 2 decimal places is 4.71. Okay.